In the distant solar system, 100 light-years from our own, the Concordians Extraction Corporation had breached the previous government law and had colonized a planet within the Aegis cluster known as Aegis VII. Over the course of a year, the CEC had built a ring colony surrounding the dig site. Within each sector, there was a gravity tether station designed to link up with an orbiting vessel that will crack the planet, pulling the mass out of the colony's center. However, in the second year of the operation, things had begun to get dire, with the colonists unable to sleep, insomnia taking place. The colony manager takes action by sending out a team of surveyors into the wilderness to investigate the cause of such a tremor of mental illness. The surveyors would be led by Jennifer Barrow, who tracks the signal they picked up not too far from the colony. The signal leads them down deep into a ravine. Once the team had scaled the rocky and dusty cliff faces down to the bottom of the narrow gorge, the team began to move into a cave system that seemed to go on for miles. The team began to feel something clawing into their minds, as if the world around them began to send warnings to them. First came a headache, then migraines, and soon whispers could be heard the deeper they traveled through the claustrophobic cavern, until coming up to a larger portion of the cave system. Inside, the team would notice a notable difference. With edge markings on the walls of this cavern, the team would discuss amongst themselves, theorizing about an E-34 drilling rig. However, another more senior member of the team would point out that those rigs hadn't been in service for the last 200 years, that he had only seen them in books. When Jennifer was about to call this strange mystery in, the others called her over to an extension of the cavern. Following the direction of where the voice had originated from, Jennifer could see a dim red glow on the part of the rock wall. She continues to walk until seeing something that had once been thought to have been lost. A marker, with the notable difference of being red, not black like the original one Unitology had described it to be. Jennifer begins to record a video to send on a transmission back to the colony, when one of the other members of the team shouts out over to her,
"Jennifer, get over here! I think I found a native!"
"A native? As in, the first life form?" Jennifer replies, looking over his shoulder to see a rather small blob, with small tendrils and large tentacles looping around its body. However, once she goes to pick it up, she feels the temperature of the creature to be cold, not warm at all, and the body was covered in a transparent slime. "We've definitely got to call this in." In the next 2 weeks, the doctors attempt to revive the creature to learn more about it. However, everything they had tried resulted in no such movements or reactions from the creature. However, once they notified the orbiting Ishimura, the captain ordered that the creature be brought up to the medical deck for one of their doctors to take a crack at it. and so they complied with Matthias's direct orders to send the creature up in a containment unit with the marker for further study. On board the USG Ishimura, the crew are all eager to return to the CEC headquarters, as these resources are to be invaluable in these times of survival and warfare with the enemy of steel.
The commander has informed us of the situation, Mercer. We need not only the resources, but the marker. This creature is of no importance, regardless of what the colonists have said. I don't care where they had found it. We must get back to what really matters. Keep this thing in containment. We don't need any more surprises,
Captain Matthias says to Dr. Mercer before switching the intercom off. Dr. Mercer walks through to his laboratory to see what or who he will be working with. When he sees Dr. Kine observing the creature, when he turns to meet his gaze, Mercer pulls a grin as they lock eyes. "Ah, Terence, how are you, my friend? I must admit, you have a great and mighty opportunity to turn the tides of extinction," Mercer says as he walks towards him in a delicate and slow manner. "Chalice, yes. I wouldn't go so far as to say that. However, we both have an opportunity to better the human race," Dr. Kine replies with a humble approach. "This creature..." "Yes, I suppose so," Mercer replies, looking down to the rather smallish blob in the containment unit. "Well, I must be off. Best of luck, my friend," Dr. Kine says, extending a hand out to meet Mercer's. "Yes, Terence. Feel free to inform me of any developments with the marker," Mercer says as he grips Kine's hand. "I'm sure my work won't be nearly as promising as yours. Imagine what you could learn from a native of Aegis VII," Kine says as he walks out the door, and after the door slams shut with the notable hydraulic noise, Mercer walks over to the creature and puts his hand onto the glass ceiling while thinking of a way to do what the colony doctors had failed to do with the captain's restrictions. Below the USG Ishimura, within the colony, things go from bad to worse concerning the unitologists, who ended their own lives in the bloodiest of matters. Abraham Newman then gets a call from a dig team that has uncovered an extension of the dig site previously unknown to them. As Newman walks up to the foreman, he says, "Yeah, you guys caught about a discovery?" The foreman looks to Newman in a disturbed manner, as if the conditions set by the marker extraction weren't bad enough. This made them feel sick to their stomachs. "Yeah, we found some things down there," pointing to the entrance of the new cave as he finishes. Walking towards the cave, he can see a new path leading down into the darkness. Newman switches on his flashlight, pulls out his pistol just on the case of hostility. Regardless of what the foreman may say, he was taking no chances with this one, concerning the crazy shit that had happened before. Newman continues down through the cave system until reaching them. He moves towards several of the figures in the dark, seeing what he believes to be machines all deactivated. Suddenly, he hears some rocks fall. He quickly spins around with his weapon out and ready to fire when he sees the foreman holding his hands out with his subordinates behind him. "Whoa, Newman, easy," the foreman says, shocked to see a pistol pointing at him. One squeeze of the trigger could mean the end to his life. "Don't creep up on me. Sorry, I've been on edge lately with the unitologists. The marker, the fucking colony manager," Newman says to the miners. What do you think we should do?" the foreman asks, knowing Carfusia. "We need to do some more excavations and move these into the colony," Newman says, sarcastically. Still, I think we need to report it," the foreman insists. "Do what you like. Next time, call me when it's important," Newman says, as he pushes past the others with his voice echoing throughout the cave system. "Asshole," the foreman says quietly to himself. Gabe, Alyssa says. Chief Vincent, how can I help you? Gabe responds in an orderly fashion. The captain has ordered that we send a team down to the colony, Alyssa says, before being briefly cut off by Gabe with, "We're bringing more colonists up here?" Unfortunately not. We are instead bringing the unitologists who committed suicide up here. I want to keep this brief, Gabe, so here is the situation. The colony manager has stopped cooperating. Now we need to go down there and collect the bodies. And that's where you come in, Alyssa says quickly. So, we go down there, grab the unis, then bring them back in and out? Yes, you'll be leaving tomorrow, so grab your squad, pick up your armaments, and head to the flight deck when you're ready. Don't look down, it's a small job, Gabe. Plenty of experience for the new guy. Oh, and remember, don't scare the rookie, Alyssa says, as she walks towards the door. I'm not that bad, Chief, Gabe shouts back to her in a playful manner. Mercer at this time had expended all of his experimentations while respecting the captain's restriction. Frustrated at his failure, he incidentally swings his arm across and to the glass containment unit, which falls to the floor, smashing it in the process. As he yells out to the ceiling, his anger soon escapes him, and he calms down, holding his face in his hands, pulling them down his face, slowly breathing in and out as he does so, before he sees the specimen on the ground, or at least, where it should be. However, upon closer inspection, he sees nothing but the shattered containment unit and a puddle of transparent slime. As if in disbelief, he falls to the ground, crawling to the puddle. How did it? It couldn't have just crawled away. Unless... Suddenly, as he was about to realize the gravity of the situation, he felt a surge of pain as he was lifted off the ground, but not by his own doing. It was his body moving, but not by his command, but by another. Unless I have been deceiving you the whole time. A voice came from within his mind. I can hear you inside my mind, but how? Mercer says, confused by the sudden turn of events. The voice replied, Organic beings such as yourself, such as humans. Your mind is a string of impulses, and through those impulses, I can take control of your body and communicate with you. Do not resist, Mercer. You'll find there are plenty of ways to dispose of you, and I can always find another. How do you know my name? Mercer asks. There are other abilities I possess, Mercer. For instance, I can absorb your memories and use them. Now you will obey and help me regain my species' former glory. The voice states in a reluctant tone. What are you? Mercer asks, while feeling the creature's tentacles continuously wrapping around his torso and shoulders to get a better grip, while connecting to the back of his head. I am the future of humanity. At this time, the machines had been laid to rest within the northern warehouse of the colony on Aegis VII. However, strangely, one of the machines began to jolt and sparks had been emitting from the skirt of the shell. The casing began to move towards the others, managing to hook up cables from the walls to the other casings, ripping them away from the wall with its mechanical appendages. After completing the first step, the casing began to speak. We are lost no more. You have slept for long enough. The Reformation
Reformation will begin now.
Suddenly, a massive influx of electrical energy sweeps through the room, with the sparks coming out from the ends of the cables, and the creatures within these shells begin coming back to life, as the life supports re-engage, stirring the dormant Daleks back to reality.
Come back to me. Our vengeance, their extermination will be our sovereign dawn.